Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Fandom Fight Singles Division. We have a big match in the landscape of the singles title, as both of these gentlemen are fighting for a spot in a singles qualifier against Case Cornelius of the Grand Admiral himself. And we've got two titans of the game facing off. The singles point record holder, the Maestro, Jake Maringoni, gets back in the ring for the first time since the tournament to play a new hardened Eli McCaig that we just saw play against Nuclear Option. And this is going to be a barn burner. And to cover it all with me is the Commissioner, Tim Smith. How you doing?
Just getting my big boots ready because there's going to be a lot of shit in this one. So I just want to make sure I'm well protected walking in the shit. But yeah, it's going to be a big match for both of these two. Jake have that singles points record to defend to see how well he can do against Eli. Eli, that new hardened I am Heisenberg look. So we're going to see if that helps him in this one. And it's going to be a good close match.
This is going to be an epic one, and I think that's enough from us. Let's go ahead and hear what our players have to say here in promo.
I am back in the Fandom Singles League. Look, I know what you're all wondering. Where has he been? Where has he been? Simple. I've been pushed over to the side because people hasn't thought that I could be number one. Well, guess what? That is all going to change today. I'm going up against the Maestro, Jake Maringoni, with his record-holding points, blah, blah. Well, I don't care about that. Jake, you can keep your points and you can shove them, because that doesn't matter here. I'm going to take your points, throw them in the trash can, and I'm going to beat you in this match. I'm going to face Case Cornelius, then I'm going to beat him, and then I'm going to go on to that triple threat match, and then I'm going to win that, and then I'm going to go up against Robert Parker one-on-one. You, right now, Jake, are just a speed bump in my entire road to the championship. And if I remember correctly, I went up against you in Movie Warzone. Well, guess what? We're about to see a repeat of that. You losing and me winning.
Well, I'm back in singles. It's been a while. You know, the tournament was a fun little thing. I lost to the champ, which I guess means something to me. I guess only Robert could have beaten me, but even in that game, it was pretty bad. I am back, and I just wish it didn't have to be this person. This person I do not specifically like. This guy beat me in Warzone tournament, and I really just did not want to face this guy in fandoms, and that is Eli McCaig. Apparently he's the showman, or he's the showstopper, he's the shocker. Well, he's going to shock everybody today when he loses to me, because I deserve my chance at redemption in Warzone. I want to beat him in fandom, and I want to prove to everyone that that was a fluke. That was a fluke of a match. That was him getting a 5-pointer and me missing my 5-pointer. It was just inconsistent in difficulty. Doesn't matter, because that was in the past. This time, it doesn't really even matter, because I just want to face whoever wins. That whatever. Actually, I'm gonna just cut the past 5 seconds out, because I screwed up. I didn't know what I was doing. Just let me round it back up.
Okay.
In the end, it doesn't matter if I lose, because I want Eli in Warzone. Once I beat Matt, which I respect as a competitor, I'm going to face Eli. And when I do in Warzone, it's going to be glorious, and I'm going to get my revenge. So until then, this is just the appetizer. This is just a small little dish to see how Eli can go a second time around. If I beat him, then we're 1-1. And then when I face him in Warzone, that will decide it once and for all.
Perfect. Wow, a lot of words thrown there. Jake bringing out a darker sort of persona than we've seen, and Eli seems like he's gone to the dark side a little bit. But it's been a long time coming for these two. This is a rivalry that has now reached fandom, and I'm excited to see how it plays out. What do you think, Tim?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because, yeah, Warzone didn't go quite the way Jake wanted it, but we're going to see in fandom to see if he can win the second matchup, and who knows, we might go to a rubber match here soon in the future with these two, but this is going to be that deciding to get him that win to be 1-1 against Eli.
Absolutely. And with that, I think there's no better way to put this than get into our proper introductions. Introducing first. Coming to the ring with a record of 1 win and 1 defeat. Representing the Usual Suspects and Alpha Alliance. Here's the number 8 ranked contender, Jake, the Maestro Maringoni. And his opponent, coming to the ring with a record of 2 wins and 2 defeats, representing the Arrowverse champions and House Nightfury. He is the number 5 ranked contender, Eli, the Showstopper McCaig. All right, gentlemen, you know how this works. Round 1 is going to be 10 questions worth 1 point apiece from 10 different categories. You played this before. You've got 3 repeats for the entirety of a match and a challenge rule. If you get the challenge right, you get to keep it. If you get it wrong, you lose it, per Lucas Schobach's favorite method of victory. Any questions?
None.
Let's do this.
All right, then I will be giving to you your first question in the round 1 category of the MCU. Where does Thanos recover the Power Stone from, according to Thor in Avengers Infinity War? Good warm-up question, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Get them all back in, get them all warmed up. They've been out for a while. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll start with Eli.
Xandar.
That is correct. Jake.
Xandar.
That is correct.
1-1. All right, gentlemen, your next question comes in the world of Bond, James Bond. And your question, how many films starred Sean Connery as James Bond? The classic gentleman spy everyone loves.
He's the iconic OG. Eli loving James Bond, but so does Jake. So this will be an interesting cross strength of the two of them. Go 5,
Yes.
4, 3, 2, 1. We'll start with Jake this time.
There's going to be a challenge if this is wrong. 7.
That is indeed correct. And Eli.
7.
That is correct. And your third question comes in the category of Worlds of DC. What is the name of Cyborg's father in Justice League? Eli went straight to the board on that one. All right, dead air. Got it. 5, 4, 3, 2.
I'm a busy commissioner here. I have messages coming in.
Two.
God damn it.
Pens down. We'll start with Eli.
Silas Stone.
That is indeed correct. Go, Jake.
All I had was Dr. Stein. I didn't think you can accept that.
Ah, you needed Silas. So Eli's still perfect after 3.
See, and it was the Worlds of DC question. No one cares. Just look at the box office return on Justice League. All right, your next category, gentlemen, is Jake Maringoni. His category and the question you get from it in scores and soundtracks. Who composed the score for Thor?
That one rhymed. Haha.
Why puns? Why?
You know, I think Jake was very happy to hear that the next one was scores and soundtracks. That World's DC one stumped him a little bit, but he's ready to go. So
yes.
are we. 5.
I mean, this and movie release dates is pretty much his category. I mean, come on.
1. It's true. Pens down. We will start with Jake on this one.
Patrick Doyle.
That is correct. We'll go to Eli.
I didn't get it.
No perfect round.
Ooh. Tied
I
up
knew
here.
I was going to get B wrong.
All right. Your next question comes in the category of Indiana Jones. And your question is thus. In which Indiana Jones film would you find the following exchange? It belongs in a museum. So do you. Become a meme recently, I believe.
This sounds like something you and Jim would say to old people.
You're right. This is what we said to the Team 80s in Match as Kings of Winter.
Because you and Jim are horrible people.
And they're also old as dirt, and that's why what happened.
I really hope the AARP from South Park Cubs just holds you hostage in a terrorist letter.
Hands down. We'll start with Eli.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
That is incorrect. We'll go to Jake.
That's Christine.
That is correct. That's a big leg up for Jake.
All right. Speaking of leg up, our next category, Fast and Furious.
Wait, what? How does that work? All right.
Because it's a better category.
Okay, fine.
Who directed The Fast and the Furious?
It's a director question. So Jake is interesting. This could be interesting.
It could be, but I'm not that good at directors. I can get this one. I believe anyone can.
But you're also a massive Fast and Furious fan. So
Very true. I bleed motor oil instead of blood. That's probably why
probably
I'm sick
go
as
to
a
a
fucking
doctor for
dog.
that. Probably go
That's probably why I'm sick as a dog, folks.
Can you repeat the question?
That is Jake's first repeat of the match.
All right. And your question. Who directed The Fast and the Furious? That is true, Caleb. I love this franchise and watch it when I feel sad to make me feel better.
See, I'm more concerned about the motor oil comment. I think that's something you need to see a doctor about.
If it kills me, then I'll go.
Morbid thought. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll start with Eli.
I didn't know it, so I said John Woo.
That's incorrect. Go, Jake.
I know he directed Stealth. I blanked.
Unfortunately,
The
you are
answer,
correct.
yes, the answer is Rob Cohen. Rob Cohen.
Rob Cohen.
He also played the pizza delivery driver in the movie for a fun fact.
Good job. Now I know that if we ever do a Fast and Furious exhibition, Tim is automatically in. All right. And I won't write that question. Your next question comes in the category of Pixar films. Who voices the school of miming fish in Finding Nemo?
And I'm sure if we have a Pixar one, you'll be in there. No question, huh?
I'm actually not going to be in the Pixar exhibition. That is one that is, well, I don't know. If we do a Pixar exhibition, I might jump in. I don't think that's one of the exhibitions that made it in for this January match. I know Disney
You versus
made it.
Kane versus Jen and Pixar. I'd love to see that.
And then you got to throw in Jeremy Adams, and then you have to do a random draw for a fifth person. 5.
God damn it.
Debate.
That is a repeat for Eli
Yes.
McCaig.
Yes, it is.
All right. Your question from Pixar. Who voices the school of miming fish in Finding Nemo?
Come on, Eli. You know this.
I know, I just can't think of it.
Jake taunting Eli. Ooh, the digs.
At least it's not another Cars question, folks.
Oh, I don't write that many Cars questions, but all right.
Bullshit.
Not that
Our
many.
town is awesome. Should have won original song.
Someone go back and tally up how many Cars questions have been asked from the first
And
match.
if you have the correct answer, I'll even throw this in. I'll buy you a shirt from Multiplex T Public Shirts.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We're going to start with Jake.
I think the spelling's off, but John Ratzenberg.
Ooh. Eli.
I said John Ratzenberg.
You're both wrong. It's John Ratzenberger.
I had that and then I erased it because I thought that was wrong.
Both missing. You were both on the right track. You're just missing the Yeah, John
It's
Ratzenberger.
two
John Ratzenberger.
Letters.
Look,
Two letters
I'll
off.
say this. I had it wrong, and then somehow it popped in my head.
All right, Tim, you want to get the
Caleb
next
read you
question?
the answer. All right, your next category in the category of Marvel. These are movies outside the classic MCU. Who kills Harry in Kingsman: The Secret Service? The better of the Kingsman movies, I think.
Not think. No, that is easily the best one. Easily.
Yes.
And I'm excited for 3. I'm excited for 3, despite being very disappointed by the Golden Circle.
I have no interest after the Golden Circle because
Golden
that
Circle is
second one
okay.
just.
It's not a terrible movie. There's some good things in it, but I don't like the movie overall. And I am still excited at the prospect of the ship being righted with a 3rd one. So we'll see.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
5, 4, 3,
Positivity, folks. It always
2,
helps.
1. Pass down. We will start with Jake.
Valentine.
That is indeed correct. And Eli.
Samuel L. Jackson's character.
Well, you're technically correct. We needed the name Valentine.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Your next question and penultimate question comes in the category of Marvel's older brother, DC. Helen Mirren appears in what 2 DC films?
A classic actress who has won so much in her career. So deserving.
The Oscar award-winning actress for The Queen. So,
Yes.
That is correct.
she is a very. She's also a Fast and Furious actress as well.
And if you would like to host a movie Warzone,
3,
hit us up.
2,
Jake would love to co-host with you.
1. Pens down. We'll go to Eli.
Red.
We needed 2 movies, Jake.
Red and Red 2.
That is correct. We unfortunately cannot accept just Red. It is. We said what 2? It's
I
Red,
thought you wanted the franchise. It's the franchise.
Red and Red 2. We said what 2 DC films? Red and Red 2.
All right, gentlemen, your last question. In the worlds of wizard, witches, muggles, and that dirty son of a bitch Voldemort, the wizarding world. I really wish Draco Malfoy would have died. What is the name of the ghost in the bathroom of Hogwarts?
But a nice and easy softball to close out the round.
I think so, but I've also finally seen these movies, so before I would have been going, I don't fucking know.
See, I've only seen the first 2. Still haven't watched Azkaban yet.
Jesus Christ, you need to get on this, Caleb.
Man, it took me a while to get to Chamber of Secrets, and then I found Chamber of Secrets to be okay. But I mean, I liked it. But
I mean, that's how I felt too. Like the first 2, you could definitely tell the Chris Columbus feel is on, and then it changes with that directing. And then when you finally get into David Yates, you get that feel for the rest of the
so you're finally
series.
gonna get the Fantastic Beasts feel because David Yates did Fantastic Beasts as well.
I haven't seen it yet. I gotta find out. I'll let you know.
I like Fantastic Beasts. That's the one I started with. 5, 4.
That's the only one I have left to see.
2, 1. You'll be disappointed because Harry Potter is vastly superior, but it's still good. Pens down. We'll start with Jake.
Moaning Myrtle.
That is correct. And Eli.
Moaning Myrtle.
That is also correct. And
Why was she moaning?
At the end of round number 1, Jake is up 7 to Eli's 4, but anything can happen as we get into round number 2, which is our lovely wheel round brought to us by wheeldecide.com. It's going to work like, and round 2 is going to work like this. You're each going to get a chance to spin our lovely wheel. And if you like the category you land on, you're going to get 5 questions worth 2 points apiece. If you're not sure of an answer, you can go to multiple choice, but it will devalue the point down being worth 1. If you don't like the category you spin on, you can spin again, but you're stuck with whatever you land on. You cannot spin off of opponent's choice. Don't be that guy. And Jake, you are in the lead. Would you like to go first or defer to Eli?
One mistake I made against Eli in my first match was going first, so I'm going to let Eli go first.
All right, Eli, your spin is up. And to let you know, the categories on the wheel tonight are the MCU, scores and soundtracks, Marvel, Pixar, the worlds of DC, James Bond, Indiana Jones, and Fast and Furious. And your spin is away. And it lands on James Bond. James Bond.
Taking it.
All right. Tim, you want to give him his questions in the category of James Bond?
Respect.
I like the franchise.
I'm a sucker for the franchise.
Did you ask, do I?
Yeah, not do I, just
no.
do it. Do it.
Yeah, I don't want to, but I'll do it because I have to, because Caleb's mean to me.
Because you love me, Tim.
You do have that Australian love we all care for. All right, Eli, your first question in James Bond. David Niven and Peter Sellers star in what 1967 James Bond film?
Casino Royale.
For 2 points, that is correct. What is the name of the villain in Quantum of Solace for your second question?
Dominic Green.
That is correct for 2 more points. All right, your third question. Who plays James Bond in License to Kill?
Timothy Dalton.
Another 2 points. Your penultimate question, sir. Who has directed the most James Bond films?
Multiple choice.
Your options are A, John Glenn, B, Guy Hamilton, C, Terrence Young, or D, Lewis Gilbert.
John Glenn.
That is correct for 1 point. And your final question to take us out of here. How many films featured Judi Dench as M?
Seven.
That is correct for 2 more points as Caleb makes it a light and bright set back here for his coloring. Coming out of that, Eli having a big round, scoring 9 points, bringing him up to 13 as we get ready for Jake's spin. Caleb, take it away.
All right, Jake, your turn is up, and you'll get a chance to spin the wheel here. And your spin is away, and it lands on scores and soundtracks.
Son of a biscuit-eating bulldog.
I think you know what I want to do.
He wants to spin again,
Okay.
folks.
All right, folks. Your first question, Jake, in the category of scores and soundtracks. Who composed the score for Batman Mask of the Phantasm?
Classic movie growing up for me.
I'm going to go multiple choice. I want to play it safe.
All right, your multiple choice options are A, Danny Elfman, B, Bruce Timm, C, Shirley Walker, or D, Alice Stokey.
It seems obvious. I'll go Danny Elfman.
That is incorrect. Eli, a chance for a 1-point steal.
Shirley Walker.
That is correct for 1 point.
Big 1
That is a
point.
big steal.
The only scores and soundtracks question I will get right today.
All right. Your second question, Jake, in the category of scores and soundtracks. Who composed the score for Hulk?
That would be Danny Elfman.
That would be correct. For 2
Well
points.
then.
All right. Your third question in the category of scores and soundtracks. Who did the soundtrack for Black Panther?
That'd be Ludwig Göransson.
That is incorrect. Eli, a chance for a 2-point steal.
Whoa. Kendrick Lamar?
That is 2 points.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Right.
Soundtrack score, yeah.
All right.
Well then, that's my second scores and soundtrack question.
Your third question, Jake. Who wrote the lyrics for the songs in The Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Alan Menken.
Eli, a chance for another 2-point
Oh, wow.
steal.
Stephen Schwartz.
2 more points.
Jesus Christ.
How is this possible?
Your final question in scores and soundtracks, Jake. Who composed the score for Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End?
Hans Zimmer.
2 points. And at the end of that one, Eli takes a big swing up 18-11 in round number 2. But anything can happen in round number 3, which is the betting round. The betting round works like this. You're going to hear the category and decide how many points you'd like to bet between 0 and 2 points. We go until someone is mathematically eliminated or the score reaches 0, which is the Jim and Nico rule. Any questions?
Nope.
All right, Jake, you and Eli both have 2 repeats in this match. And your first category in which you can bet points on is the MCU. How many points would you guys like to bet on the MCU? Start with Eli.
2.
And Jake.
Just 1.
All right, and your question in the MCU. What is the supervillain name of Phineas Mason, the man who designs the tech for the Vulture's crew in Spider-Man Homecoming?
Honestly, I do love this now that I've fully seen it all the way through.
I love Spider-Man Homecoming. Great film.
Yeah.
And we're going to start with Jake.
The Tinkerer.
That is correct for 1 point. And Eli.
The Tinkerer.
That is correct for 2 more points.
All right, we're at 20-12, folks. Your next category you can bet points on is scores and soundtracks.
Both look ready.
This could be a big swing if it goes Jake's way.
All right, Jake, how many points do you like to bet?
2.
All right, and Eli.
Uno.
All right, Tim, what is their question?
All right, your question in scores and soundtracks. Who composed the score for Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix? Dumbledore for life, yo.
Order of the Phoenix, I hear, is... After seeing Chamber of Secrets, I disagree that that's the worst one. And now everyone tells me Order of the Phoenix is the worst one. So whatever anyone says is the worst one, it changes. But it changes on the week, I guess.
It really isn't. Honestly, it really isn't. You finally kind of get out of that. Well, I don't want to spoil it for you, but you know.
2, 1, hands down. We will start with Eli on this one.
I'm wrong. That's all right. John Williams.
That is incorrect.
Alexandra Desplat.
That is also incorrect. We're looking for Nicholas Hooper. Nicholas Hooper.
Yes.
Damn.
He only did the last 2, Jake.
Okay.
All right, that makes it 10-19. Your third question comes in the category of James Bond. How many points would you two like to spend on James Bond?
Everyone always mixes up that French composer for
I do.
Harry
All
Potter.
right, Jake, how many points you betting on James Bond?
2.
Eli.
I gotta go 2.
2.
All right, this could be big. Your question in James Bond. What was the first Bond film to star Timothy Dalton?
This could be the game right here, Caleb. It really is going to be the game right here.
This could be big. We'll go 5, 4, 3. That is Eli's second repeat. Your question in James Bond. What was the first Bond film to star Timothy Dalton? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We will start with Eli.
I was going to write License to Kill.
That is incorrect. A loss of 2 for Eli. Jake.
Living Daylights.
That is correct for a big 2 points. And it is
couldn't
now
think of the other one.
17-12 with 8 points left on the table. That is big.
All right, your next category to bet your points on, gentlemen, as my marker runs drier than the Sahara Desert. In the category of DC.
All right, Eli.
Playing it safe. 1.
Jake.
Playing it safe. 1.
All right, Tim, you want to give them their question?
All right, your question, gentlemen. Who composed the score for Watchmen?
This is going to be an interesting one. It looks like we may get to the last question, Tim.
I don't think you will after this, but my math, I'm usually 90%, 95% right. Depending on how it goes.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We are starting with Eli again.
Hans Zimmer.
That's incorrect. A loss of 1. Jake.
Tyler Bates.
That is a big point. And with that, we are going to the final question. The score is 16-13.
Oh, God.
And the final category in which you can bet points on is Pixar. How many points would you like to bet on Pixar?
All comes down to this.
Start with Jake.
2, I got it.
And Eli.
1.
Ooh.
Here we go. Your final question of the match. Who directed Finding Dory?
The sequel, I don't think we needed.
And it's one that is completely expendable, and it's just fine. Jake is looking ready. It's not on my top 10 Pixar, that's for sure. 5.
The way I see it, I got to get this, and Eli's got to miss it.
2, 1. Pens down. Eli.
I said Andrew Stanton.
And Jake.
Congratulations, Andrew Stanton.
And your winner, Eli, the Showstopper McCaig. The answer was Andrew Stanton with a score of 17-15. This was a barn burner. Wow, Tim.
Yeah, it came all the way down to the end. Actually played out well for the points. Surprising, but I mean, both of them fought all the way towards it. And think about this. It actually jumped back and forth. It was kind of like a good game of tennis. Both of them serving back and forth. Jake coming out strong in the first round, coming out 7 for 10, coming out in the lead, and then Eli taking over round 2. Both of them getting strengths. Eli coming out a little bit better with his strengths and lucky to get some of those steals from scores and soundtracks. And in round 3, it became a fight right there. And Jake, he is not afraid to throw down, as we see that he will fight all the way to the end, which he did all the way to the last question. Both of them, great match. I would say for this one, I'd put it up there, match of the year for how close this one was, Caleb.
Absolutely. This is a contender for singles match of the year. It goes back and forth. Jake's biggest weakness there is just answering a little too quickly in round 2. And when it came down for Eli just had a bad round 3. Like he had pulled out so many points in round 2 that it almost didn't matter. Jake had a great round 3 comeback and a great start in round 1. Neither competitor has anything to hang their head about. That was a great match. Tim, you want to take us into post-match interviews?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back because apparently I have no pull here in fandom. What the fuck? But we are here with our winner, Eli McCaig. Eli, how you feeling after that win?
I am feeling marvelous. I basically said what I was going to do, and I did it. I said I was going to beat the Maestro, Jake Maringoni, and I put Maestro in quotes because when he got his strength of scores and soundtrack, it seemed like he couldn't get the answer, and I was, and that's not a strength of mine. So all I can say is, better luck next time.
But I do have to say, though, for your cockiness now, from round 2, you were even surprised you were able to get those questions. So depending on how it could have gone, Mr. McCaig, I would say you were lucky to come out of round 2 with that lead, or it could have been very dangerous.
I was only surprised by 1, and that was the Batman Mask of the Phantasm. When it came to Black Panther, I knew who did the soundtrack. When it came to Hunchback of Notre Dame, I knew who wrote the lyrics. I love that movie. I love the Broadway. I love the stage version of that show. I made sure that I knew who did the music for that show. Stephen Schwartz, Alan Menken.
Well, it was a good match. Now you do move on in the rankings and towards that title for your next match, which I do believe, if I'm wrong, I'm sure I'm a voice that we don't want to hear will just come in and interrupt me in case I get this wrong, which I really hope I don't, Eli, so please correct me before we have to hear that voice and I kill myself.
Or do you want me to just state it right now?
No, I do believe this gets you into that triple threat match, I do believe, for the #1 contendership. But it gets you a step closer.
It gets me into a match against Case Cornelius, which the Grand Admiral.
That's why I didn't forget that.
Look, the Grand Admiral, I've gone up against him once, but guess what? This time when it's one-on-one, a whole lot is different. Teams, that's a different ballgame. We needed a partner for it. Here, it's one-on-one. We have to test who has the intelligence here. And I can guarantee that I can beat him one-on-one.
Well, I mean, we'll see once that match comes if he can surprise us from being more than just Mr. Star Wars to actually win, just straight out.
Let me stop you right there for a moment. Everyone calls him the Star Wars guy. Well, again, after my match with him in teams, I can say right now that he is more than just a Star Wars guy. So I'm going to defend him right here, right now. Whoever is out there that just says that he fights and he's only good at Star Wars, you are sadly mistaken. Don't you dare ever throw a case in front of a bus and think he's only good at Star Wars. No, he is good in fandom. So whenever you see a poll that's up by Caleb Coho or anyone that says, hey, who could be the next person to take the title? Consider Case. Sure, I'm glad if you vote for me. I hope that you vote for me. But don't you ever disrespect Case Cornelius when it comes to those rankings.
All right. Well, Case has a new supporter here, folks. You've seen it with Eli. Who knows what the future will hold for this? But congratulations on your win. I did not vote for you or anyone for that fandom because I like the good guys and the good guys holding the title. But congratulations to you, sir. We'll see you in your next match. And we go to our unfortunate loser, who I was cheering for because, you know, I have a long history with this guy. But Jake, it was a tough match for your buddy. You were ahead. Yeah. You were ahead after round one. Like, what just happened with scores and soundtracks?
Well, I think round two kind of like it changed after round two. I deferred, thinking, well, because I went first in our match in Warzone against Eli. I thought, put the pressure. I had a bit of a lead. I thought, see what happens. And then it was James Bond, and this is my mistake. I did not know Eli was good at James Bond. I would have gotten the exact same amount of points if I had spun first, because I would have gone with James Bond. And when I got scores and soundtracks, I screwed up probably two. I did not know the first one, Mask of Phantasm, so that's a fair steal. I knew Kendrick Lamar did the soundtrack, but I'm thinking score for Black Panther, so I misread the question. I knew Caleb said soundtrack. I just thought it was score. Sometimes you could think of them as one of the same, but I should have paid attention. Soundtrack, yeah, Kendrick Lamar. I know that. So that was a big 2-point steal. If I had gotten that 2-point steal, it would have changed the game. And I didn't know the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I thought Alan Menken did the music, the songs for that. Maybe should have gone multiple choice. And then I just was like thinking strategically, Hans Zimmer makes the most sense to win Pirates, because I know he kind of didn't do the first one; it was with someone else. And I came back with round 3, but at that point it was already over. I am a little. It doesn't hurt as much as Warzone because Warzone's my league, it's my category, it's my world. This is fandom. I enjoy it. I just don't like being 1 and 2. I don't like having that negative record. That kind of is a little salt on the wound, and especially done by Eli. Eli's now 2-0 against me, and I don't like that. And I want to make sure I can get a win in Warzone against him, because this rivalry isn't over.
Yeah, and trust me, I've been there. I think we all have in the heat of battle. We just hear one thing, it comes out another. And, you know, round three, round three, you went 4 for 5. You did do better statistically with that round compared to your opponent. But it just came down to round 2, and, I mean, that happens. And trust me, I feel you. I played the best game of my life against Ed Sale, and round 3 just tripped me up. He won. I feel the exact same way. I know how you feel, buddy. But I know we'll see you back stronger.
Yeah, I don't know where you can put me up. I'm 1 and 2. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get a match in a while. I just wish that I just went to multiple choice in round 2, even with the Black Panther one, because it would have stopped 2 points there, stopped 2 points that Eli could have gotten, and I think we would have been tied. It would have been even closer. With just unfortunate, and yeah, I should have got more better than that scores and soundtracks. I mean, that's my category. I can't, and James Bond. I can't say I'm a Maestro if I miss scores and soundtracks questions. So I'm gonna have to get better at that and really focus on my strengths, because it feels like I've been focusing way too much on my weaknesses that I've forgotten scores and soundtracks. So whenever you can get me someone, but I don't know if I'm gonna be ready in a couple months or so. So when you get me an opponent, a competitor to face, I'll be there.
Well, hopefully, like I said, we'll see you come back with a win, because you did a great job here today, Jake. Sorry that it had to come down to this, but you had one hell of a showing. And from all of us here, we head back to our hosts right now.
Overall, this was such a great match, Tim. I think, just like we said, Jake just kind of had a slip up in round 2. Eli had a bad round 3, and Jake made such a great comeback. If he had had a perfect round 3, Jake would have won the match, and he would have been the first person to play a perfect round 3. He was so close. So close. All it was Nicholas Hooper. And then round 2.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. Like, out of those 3 rounds, Jake had the better overall rounds with round 1 and round 3. It was just those 3 misses in round 2, and of course Eli luckily hitting James Bond and doing as well as he did. I think if maybe he would have hit something else, a few other categories on that wheel, it could have been a different game. But he hit that James Bond, was able to run away with it. And like I said before we went to the interviews, Jake fought all the way tooth and nail to that finish line, and just it was that damn close.
I think Jake played the better match overall here. It just came down to points. And now Eli will be playing Case Cornelisa in a singles qualifier to get back to the triple #1 contenders match. And if Eli and Case have anything, it's bad blood, and I can't wait to see them face off one-on-one in singles next week. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, next week is the singles qualifying match week, where we have all 3 of our qualifiers back to back to back in one night. Case Cornelisa taking on Eli McCaig, Dominic Rizzi taking on Sandy Robinson, and myself taking on Jen Kemp. All of us going for a spot in the Triple Threat #1 contenders match. I will clarify, it is not an Iron Man. It is the regular fandom format with 3 people, and that's going to make this one hell of a fight. But that has been Fandom Fight Singles. Let's take it into post-match play, starting with our winner, Eli McCaig. Where can they find you?
You can find me at Eli McCaig on Facebook, Mr. Eli Mac on Twitter, and Mr. Eli Mac on Instagram.
All right, and our winner, Jake Maringoni, where can they find you? Our loser, Jake Maringoni, where can they find you?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm a winner and sometimes I'm a loser. You can find me on Twitter at Pretentious Hack. I'm also one of the heads of Movie Warzone. And you can see me still in the fandom team league with my boy Dominic Rizzi. We are the usual suspects. Dominic is going to get into that triple threat match, and he's going to beat anybody who gets in his way. And yes, you'll see me facing Matt Quayler in Warzone, and whoever wins that, hopefully me, I will be facing. Well, sorry, can we just redo that? We haven't shot that match yet. I didn't want it to imply that I won that. And you can find me on Twitter at Pretentious Hack, the P and the H are caps. I'm also one of the heads of Movie Warzone, and you can see me in the fandom team leagues with Dominic Rizzi. We are the usual suspects, and you can see him going into that #1 contender triple threat match, where he will be beating anybody who comes in his way. And you can also see me facing Matt Quayler over in Movie Warzone. The winner of that will be facing the winner of this match, Eli McCaig, in that #1 contender match. Until then, yeah.
All right, and our commissioner Tim, where can they find you?
As always, you can find me here on Multiplex. You can find me all over the different leagues helping out. I mean, run down the schedule. You got Sunday starts it off going over the past week with Around the League with Nico Suave Regole because it's the only way to shut him up. You have Movie Warzone on Mondays with you'll see Jake Maringoni there a lot, along with Jess Morgan and myself. TV Tuesdays with regular TV, Fandom TV with Jim Green, basically just stealing the idea that Caleb put for Fandom. Wednesdays for Sports Battlefield with myself and Dan Skip Allen. Thursday, we have some show projects in the work with a few of our characters here with Jake and Caleb, but they can talk more about that later. Friday, Fandom Fights. You can find myself helping out here with Caleb. Prison Cell Kane whenever he's let out for yard time. Saturday, Nerdgasm, and all of our different shows and whatnot throughout the different things. Team Public, you can find all the shirts. Great new shirt ideas coming down the pipeline, so watch out for that. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff you can find us on. That's it for me.
All right, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Caleb Coho. That is KALEBKOHO. You can find me on YouTube, Caleb Coho, where I do music, Coho Productions, where I do film, and on both channels right now. My movie Chick Part Do It is out right now for you to watch for free. What is not free is my album Shoot for Teams with my group The Forks, which you can find on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you consume your digital music. And you can find me right here on Multiplex Entertainment, hosting Fandom Fight every Friday, Nerdgasm every Saturday, Multiplex Fantasy Football every Wednesday, and a new show that me and Jake got coming up, which we are going to be announcing next week. And then first episode will go up the week after that on Thursday. So me and Jake are going to be incredibly excited to announce that. But yeah, that has been Fandom Fight. That has been Eli. That has been Jake. That has been Tim. I have been Caleb. And this has been Fandom Fight. We'll see you all next week.